West Africa Regional Fisheries Program, WAF, aims at improving the sustainable management of fish and aquatic resources in the West Africa sub-region. The project emphasized on extensive capacity strengthening for fisheries management, fish health, post-harvest fish handling and processing, aquaculture methods, and monitoring. The average productivity of a small-scale cage farm was pegged at 3.35 kilograms per meter cube, and this is expected to increase for small-scale farmers. WAF Ghana has put more effort into boosting aquaculture production and for beneficiaries such as small-scale cage fish farmers and new entrants into the sector.
Extension at the end of the ministry for no buy and catch up no buy number share. You know, so to pond high because I didn't as I say no a clay tin soon better in the man advice in the two so pond no for that mutu no kwana mo ha the nyamia so ya dey in share be that what try say and the what they call good practices no obeya ya no emma akese no edu akese pa ewo mu se no betima for 15,000 fish akese na woman ni so mu kura no betima for the 2,000 fish. Many electoral commission be democracy.
Capacity development of staff and selected fish farmers in fingerling production and transport, fish culture in cages and earthen ponds, water quality monitoring and the use of field kits, feed formulation and preparation, fish health management and construction of fish ponds. These were geared towards fine-tuning extension delivery activities of fisheries officers and fish culture practices for the small-scale operators. The West Africa Regional Fisheries Program, WAF Ghana, has a National Aquaculture Code of Practice and Guidelines. Extensive public education has been carried out on the National Aquaculture Code of Conduct and Guidelines to ensure improved productivity of fish farming. Aquaculture equipment and accessories were also acquired and distributed to the regional and zonal offices of MOFAD and FC. Trainings were organized for field staff on the use of equipment to enhance aquaculture production by farmers.
We have conducted training in site selection and pond construction. The officers need to know how to select suitable sites and construct effective and efficient fish ponds. So they have been taken through appropriate training programs. We have also trained them in pond and cage management.
The project procured mobile communication vans and pickup trucks for aquaculture field work in the northern and southern sectors of the country. The project has also facilitated aquaculture legal and policy framework. In ensuring maximized gains by fish farmers, the project has carried out the zoning of the Volta Lake and identified high priority areas for aquaculture development, including species for aquaculture, and estimated the carrying capacity of the lake, taking into account other user rights and the sustainability of the environment.
The advantage of this is that to make it easier for the prospective farmers to locate areas. Previously, they have to go around and identify a location and then have to now do the monitoring and all that. But with this information available from the map, you can just decide that, okay, this part of the lake, it's okay. So you can just go straight there and then be able to locate your farm. That will facilitate the development of aquaculture. With this, it will facilitate the permitting process, because if the Environmental Protection Agency has this document and they know that this was based on various monitoring exercises, then it will be necessary for the farmer to go through the whole process of doing the monitoring again.
In addition to training of hatchery operators, financial support to the Aquaculture Research and Development Center (ADEC) at Akosombo enabled the center advance work on developing the tilapia in the Volta Lake, TIVO. Further to that, the rehabilitation works on hatcheries have been carried out. Aquaculture Center in Kuna Odumase, ADC and Water Research Institute is helping with the improved supply of quality fingerlings to fish farmers. The genetic quality of tilapia fingerlings and broodstock is improving. Water quality measuring and pond construction equipment has been procured and distributed to hatcheries and regional fisheries officers to support farmers produce quality fingerlings and wholesome table fish for consumers. Farmers, the project rehabilitated and modernized hatchery centers to increase access to fingerlings all year round. A national aquaculture census and preparation of national map of aquaculture ventures was also conducted to generate a database for management and policy decision making. Several trainings were organized for fish farmers to enhance their knowledge in improved technologies and best practices globally. In 2015, the project supported aquaculture industry players on a study tour of aquaculture best practices in Nigeria.
Recently, I was sent to Nigeria, but we went with a team for a study tour. And we learned a lot of things in Nigeria there by after they took us to Nigeria. And there I saw that you can smoke a fish, keep it even on your table without putting it in the deep freezer or fridge for about 6 months. When I came from Nigeria, I started to do it on my own. And this is some samples of what I learned from Nigeria, and I'm even practicing it here.
Fisheries officers receive training in basic fish farm, fish hatchery techniques, management of fish ponds and cages, and fingerling transport.
This stage, this is 0.01 grams. You only have to give them the hormone-treated feed. So just like that, you met us preparing feed today. That feed, their feed, you mill it into very fine particles, and then you mix it with a hormone. The hormone is 17-alpha methyl testosterone. So we have a nice way of preparing that meal. You find some in the pictures we gave you. You mix it uniformly with the feed, a portion of it. And then as for the process of that feed preparation, it's a whole tutorial on its own. So you take about 0.06 gram of the hormones, you mix it with alcohol, and then as methanol, and then you mix it.
Yesterday we talked about clinical signs of that disease. So when you go to the farm, if you see anything that is in that normal, You, in the table is there. Yes, no, yes, no.
No, for me, I'll just call you and then
It comes out because of these nets. The fishes can't come out. When it comes out, it goes through this tube into this pipe, and this big pipe, water is collected into that place. That place, there is some kind of filtration to remove those suspended material. So it goes through the first segment of sand and stone and gravel, and it comes up through the second stage of charcoal, and then it drops into it, and then it is pumped into the water.
When you take a bulk weigh, you'll be able to use it to calculate the quantity of fry you had. Today we are having fry estimation. But when you take, let's take it 2 samples, the marginal error can be wide. So the more the sample, the lesser the error. So you can take about 5, 6, depending on the number of people you have available. Sample. Then you weigh. So per the weigh, you'll be able to get an average weight of the fry or the average weight of the egg.
All regional directors of fisheries, selected zonal fisheries officers, and some national service personnel with selected youth and an NGO, Bovid, were trained in earthen fish pond construction to provide services to new entrants into the aquaculture industry and those who want to expand their enterprise. Building capacity of extension officers set the framework for increased investment in aquaculture. WAF Ghana has developed small-scale aquaculture business models. Fisheries officers have been trained in aquaculture techniques to provide extension to fish farmers. Several meetings were conducted to strengthen the organizational structures of fish farmers associations. For fish health, the project has provided immense support through autogenous vaccination of farms affected by bacterial diseases to reduce the effects of the outbreak.
these animals are taken from their natural environment and put in concentrated places. And as they are in the concentrated places, the tendency that they are not in the natural environment moving freely brings the upsurge of diseases within them. So there's the need to control these diseases and manage the health of the animals well.
Thanks to the West Africa Regional Fisheries Program, Ghana has been able to establish fish health laboratory and strategically throughout the country. The project has also supported extensively, provided education on good fish farm management practices. WAF Ghana embarked on an autogenous vaccination of farm that was affected by emergent cocktail of bacterial diseases in 2016.
If you look at it, most of the collapse of aquaculture in the world came as a result of non-adherence to health measures. In 2005, we had a serious case in the Southern African region, the Zambezi region, where we had a fungal disease that destroyed most of the fishes and other animals in the river basin. This alerted African governments to think about measures to develop to protect their animal.
An early warning system, which is part of the aquatic animal health policy, is being developed by the Fish Health Unit with support from the project.
We tend to do disease surveillance. We tend to put in measures to diagnose diseases in the aquatic environment and propose methods to prevent and control.
This system will support early reportage on disease outbreak by fish farmers to fisheries officers.
The aquatic animal health sets the rules and then sets the interventions to improve the health of the aquatic animals that we grow.
Database of disease of economic importance has been established with support from the project. These diseases include bacterial diseases, parasitic diseases, whirling diseases on ornamental fishes, fungal diseases, medical diseases, tumors. The database is updated on regular basis when new diseases emerge and make it accessible to relevant stakeholders. The project again supported the development of a hatchery certification system to improve quality fingerling production for grow-out farms.
We managed to introduce some few things into aquaculture development. One, to certify hatcheries so that the hatcheries will bring out quality fry and fingerlings for the farmers to use. And in this process, for the past 3 years, we've been able to certify about 17 hatcheries.
The protocols developed by the project for testing, certifying and monitoring fish health, quality and safety were distributed widely among fish farmers and fisheries commission staff. The project also procured and supplied the necessary equipment and consumables for certification and fish health monitoring. Through the West Africa Regional Fisheries Program, an aquatic animal health policy is being developed.